Hey guys, figured this is a little bit easier. For those that don't know, John did a video with me in regards to like cool win RLCS this year and all that kind of fun stuff. And I left a comment basically saying if you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Turns out you guys have a ton of replies and a ton of questions. You guys are nuts. So rather than doing it by hand, and I already have answered some, I'm just going to get through these as quickly as possible just so you guys don't have any questions. But if you guys do have additional questions, feel free to tweet at me, twitter.com/Lawler_RL. But to get right into it, do you do community tournaments on your channel? I've played against you and other RLCS casters. I already answered this one. Basically, we do them at random. There's no real rhyme or reason of when we do them and why we do them, but if we ever need people to do them, we always tweet it out. So once again, Twitter, best place to reach or stay up to date on any of that kind of stuff that we do. Top 5 players in the world, totally up to discretion. I would say KDOP, Violent Panda, Turbo, pretty much all the players on GFE when they're at their prime. Garrett G and JNaps. You could also throw Torment in there, and a couple other players, but it's up to discussion. There's a lot of people that you can consider that level of play. Does Epic Johnny get banned for throwing games being unprofessional by the means Twitter accepted? That is up to Psyonix and their discretion on how they want to handle that. Doesn't John owe you a bet and we'll be dressing up for it? Hopefully soon. Maybe he and I will do a community tournament this week and he'll dress up for it. I can't wait for him to wear a Gumby costume or whatever the hell we're going to have him do. Asia has a reason into RLCS to skiller to not flop. I honestly think the Asian scene is extremely far behind compared to the other regions just because they haven't been susceptible to top level of play. I would love to get them to join, but I know the Chinese market is going to have free to play coming out hopefully sooner than later. That's being developed by Tencent and Psyonix, so hopefully that'll bring in a new, I guess, flux of players. So that'll be cool. Will there be an app, school play for Rocket League that has its statistics? I have no idea, probably not, but it is something that I will talk to our statistician about and see if he can get that into development. Is Rizzo on Rogue now? No, John just misspoke. He's still on G2. What do you think are C9's chances for winning RLCS? Don't you feel like more well-rounded teams? They've been having issues. They definitely are on the downswing right now. They're in a slump. Hopefully they can fix it in the month before. The issue is that people have kind of gotten used to the fact that Squishy, plays really aggressive and really mechanical. He brings it up in the corner and then he passes it down midfield to Gimmick. It's pretty predictable nowadays. People have made changes, and either Cloud9 changes it up or they're going to get stomped. They've looked pretty lackluster the past like 2-3 weeks, so it's possible. What channel will RLCS be on? Wow, I said that weird. RLCS will be on DirecTV. No, RLCS has never been on television. Other programs like E-League and stuff have been on TBS, but the RLCS will always be on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rocket League. Do you think Rogue missed RLCS because of new people on the team, or is it because not everyone gave the effort they have? I think their team needs some major changes. I don't feel like Sizz is a solid player for that squad. I think he's had a really rough season. They need to find something. Insolences, even though he doesn't play or practice, still plays pretty solid. It's just that team to me just doesn't come together. They need to make some changes for that roster, and it may take some time for them to get used to each other or something. It just seems Sizz is out of place on it. He makes a lot of mistakes. Who does the awesome intro you use for RLCS? The production company that we go through. I don't know if they made it or if they hired someone else to make it, but it's sick. What's wrong with my voice? What's wrong with your voice? What's wrong with your icon? Minecraft is so 2000. I don't even know when it came out. It's so old. Where's land being held? It's answered it right below. June 8th, Copperbox Arena in London. Should be awesome. When does G2 play? God damn it. Do you see the esports scene for Rocket League continuing to grow in the future and realistic how many more good years? At the pace it's going, probably 5. There needs to be some major changes, and that's entirely up to how much effort Psyonix wants to put into it. On you guys at Asia, I don't think they have the sustainability or the ability for us to broadcast out of. One of the reasons why we went with Oceania is because they have their own production company and Throwdown TV that we can use. From Argentina, would love to cast translate the RLCS in Spanish. How can I start? By literally starting. Being very forward thinking, as well as what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but it's not gonna come. It's just not gonna just come to you. You have to, take it by the right. I can't even think of the word. There's a word I'm thinking of, and I can't think of it. Ambitious. You need to be ambitious with it. No one's gonna ask you to do it. No one's gonna give you anything. You got to go out and get it yourself. The best way to start is to literally start. If you've never casted before, if you've never done that before, literally take replays and cast over them. It's a good place to get a start. How do you get a kind of job like this? Similar career if you don't know how much to pay. I will not disclose how much I pay. It's kind of something I just don't talk about. It's kind of weird. It's like asking streamers how much they made in donations. It's just not something you ask. But just like I said, be ambitious. We all started because nobody else was doing it. We just did it because we fell in love with it. And if you've never practiced before, if you've never casted before, if you've never even attempted to do it, you're never going to looked at. You just simply have to get yourself started, sign up for community tournaments, see who needs help, do whatever you got to do. What do you think PSG didn't make LAN? They, to me, have some internal issues, I think, with their team. I think they're probably going to see some roster changes from what I've seen. I do think that they did something really good at DreamHack Leipzig, and Bluey was playing less flashy and stuff like that, but he started to revert back to old habits, and it's really tough. It's tough to stay at the top, especially in Europe. Europe is stacked with talent. It's really, really difficult to make top 4. What are those? I don't have shoes or socks on, so those are my feet. Where's RLCS Overtime? Overtime was contracted for 38 weeks. We fulfilled that contract, and unless Psyonix wants to renew it or whatever, we won't see it again. I loved Overtime. There's things I really liked about it, things I really didn't like about it, but it's up to Psyonix if they want to resign for the show. What are some teams from NANU that you would not have predicted to be where they are? I actually think that all the teams that are involved are exactly what I thought they were going to be. I think G2 has really proved that they are going to toughen it out no matter the situation. We see it all the time from Gale Force, where even if Gale Force isn't looking their best, they still manage to win. I think G2 is finally at that spot, which is really exciting. I think Energy probably would have placed a little bit higher too, but I didn't have too big of hopes on flip side. I thought we were going to see PSG instead of Envy. That's probably the big one. But kudos to Envy. Devo really stepped up the last 2 weeks. That's what we needed. Do you know when tickets will be on sale? Tomorrow. Literally 5-10. Tomorrow they will be on sale. Is it weird question, but when you're commentating, you switch with the other caster. You guys just switch random, or is there a time you switch? In commentary, there is a thing called dropping off or passing off. Usually the play-by-play guy, the guy who is summarizing what is happening, he is the one that determines all that. He's the one that dictates all that information. Usually it's done predefined on goals, or if it's like a transition in the middle of the field or a lack of possession or something. Otherwise, I can also tap on the desk. Like usually I'll just like tap on the side to be like, yo, like I need to interject. I need to say something. So it comes with a lot of chemistry of your co-commentator. Helps working with the same people over and over again. But generally there is a rhyme and reason to what we do and why we do it. What are my thoughts on Quinn? Love Quinn. Quinn's a great guy. Homie. It's his first season of casting. He's getting a lot of flack, which I think is unwarranted. People need to understand that myself and the other guys have 4 seasons, now 5 seasons of experience. This is Quinn's very first one. Most people enjoy hearing a new voice. It happens to everybody, where a new caster comes in, everybody's like, oh, it's new and exciting, it's something different, and they love them. And unless you continue to improve before they recognize your flaws, people are going to hate on you. It's just kind of how it is. I do think the community needs to wise up a little bit, though. A little bit rude what they're doing for them. And you talked about the video. Do you think it'd be a good idea to allow more players in the World Championship? There are more and more good players coming, and with the World Championship, it would be maybe fun to have more teams. I was thinking 6 from Europe, 6 from NA, 2 from SC, 1 from South America, 1 from Asia. They would have to completely change the format and do a group stage, because that is way too much time to broadcast with the current situation. I personally do not feel that there's enough teams in North America and Europe to give us the level and quality of play that we want. It's the same thing as people wanting to expand the RLCS from 8 teams to 10 teams. We just don't have the talent for it, in my opinion. You want the best of the best going to the World Championship, and I still think there's teams coming from North America even now that are going to have a lackluster performance. I would like to see South America included eventually, Asia, not just yet for Asia, but I'd like to see South America get at least one. I also think that if OCE doesn't do better than 8th, they probably should only send one team instead of 2. And then we should send one from South America instead. That's my personal opinion. I always thought it'd be super interesting to be an esports analyst like you. Is there a place where I sign up or anything like that? There's no real place to sign up. You just have to reach out to the community tournaments and see if they need volunteers. There's always people looking. And if there isn't volunteers, start doing it on your own. YouTube. Can I make my own team and enter into RLCS playoffs next season? You can't enter RLCS, but at the beginning of every season, there is 4 spots available in the RLRS. That goes through open qualifiers. You can play in 2 of 4 open qualifiers in both regions, NA and EU. If you get top 32 team in the first qualifier, you then get put in another bracket, which is like the final bracket. And if you win in that, you become one of the top 4 teams in that. You then play in the RLRS, and then you have to play through the RLRS, and then you have to play in the RLCS. So not directly into the RLCS, but you can get into the RLRS if you are good enough. Please fix Twitch chat. All these people keep spamming GG for no reason. Can't even find a game or interact. If you don't on Twitch, use a program called Better Twitch TV. You can blacklist words like rewards or GG, and it'll completely get rid of it. I also recommend, if you want to, come to my Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/Lawler. I have all my mods and all my big supporters will actually sit and talk in my chat while watching the game, and I just host the channel anyway, so you can still watch the games live. It's just a matter of you're going to be able to talk with my friends and my viewership and all that kind of stuff. You can also come and talk live in my Discord, discord.gg/Lawler. But if you don't want to do it, or if you don't want to ban the words or anything like that, come stop on my channel. You're going to get good conversation about people who genuinely love the game. Best way to get noticed by very good players. Just play games in ranked or tournaments, or if you can play at the highest level of Grand Champ, if you're playing at 1800 MMR and you're beating people like Garrett and stuff, you're going to get noticed. It's the best way to do it. What's your opinion on all the win hate? I've already answered it. But that looks like just about everything, you guys. Appreciate you guys all asking questions. This kind of stuff, if you want me to do it on a regular basis, don't be afraid to ask. Hit me up on Twitter, social media, anything like that. All those links will be down in the description. But if you guys have any questions about anything related to what I do or anything, don't be afraid to ask. Obviously, you guys, fantastic community. John really loves you guys, and I know I do too. You guys, support-wise, are insane. It's actually pretty crazy. So if you guys do need anybody to talk to about Rocket League related pro scene stuff, do not be afraid to hit me up, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you name it. I'm live and use all platforms. So appreciate you guys coming and asking the questions. Any additional ones I'll try to get to. Thanks.